Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where I'm here in Planetbase, the outer space building and economy simulation game, where you land on various different planets and try to set up successful colonies. Today I'm working on the Express Dark Colony achievement, where we try to do the Dark Moon Challenge in less than 70 days. Now I've already started on the challenge here, and I have a few colonists on the surface, so trying to reach 300. Can I do it in less than 70 days? Currently, we are on day 18. Now, I have a lot of colonists who are exhausted and tired, and I need to see about expanding, getting more manpower, but we also have problems where there's lots of people that are traumatically injured, like this poor person who's sitting here using the medical bed. And yeah, this person can't do any work until they're taken care of by a physician. But in order to do that, we need medical supplies, which we don't have. And and in order to get more medical supplies, well, we're going to have to make another biodome. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and prioritize construction of the biodome. But for now, you know what? I changed my mind. We won't connect this because that will consume another bioplastic unit. We can make the connection later, or maybe not at all if we want to use the lab more efficiently. The lab uses its border here in order to add to services, so by having that connection, it takes away from the capacity of the lab for tissue synthesizers or workbenches. Oh, and I see a couple of icons for personnel that are parched. See, here's one coming out from out here. So we probably don't have enough water fountains for all the personnel that we have, so to ensure that we don't have dehydration issues, we'll go ahead and we'll add another. In fact, you know what, let's add two. When you see somebody walking around and they've got a little water icon on them, the reason that they're not immediately going to a water fountain to quench their thirst is because someone else is queued to go to the water fountain first. And so my guess is that, well, our two water fountains are just not handling the amount of personnel that are getting thirsty. So we'll add to the capacity so that more people can get a drink all at the same time. Now, once the biodome goes up, it will allow us to produce not only additional food, but also additional starches, which we will need to be able to make into bioplastics. Now, currently, we only have one bioplastic processor in the entire base. So, our next construction after putting up the large biodome would be, whoops, here. Did I pick the right thing? Oh yeah, a processing plant. I have to keep an eye on all of the personnel landing just to ensure that they are actually colonists coming here to join the colony versus, say, pirates that are coming in to murder everyone and take the colony for themselves. We don't have any defenses here at my little colony here, unfortunately, so our only defense is to lock the door. Oops, there's another person traumatically injured from the mines coming in. That's not good. Just want to have an extra connection here just in case. Speaking of extra connections, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have a second airlock. But it's telling me no. Well, that's okay. I don't take no for an answer. So it might just be a matter of scooping out a little material here. Now, this is a little planet-based trick that you can use in order to finagle something into a location that Planetbase says you can't have it. You'll notice that I've queued up a construction of a water tower. And notice how it's partially buried there on the left side. So when I click, it clears it out for me. Now, I didn't have to use any materials to do that. I just declared, I'm thinking of building something there. Nope, I changed my mind, and there's no penalty for doing that over and over again. So you can use it to kind of reshape the land form a little bit. Oh, come on, I was hoping to get this one in. There we go. So you can just basically use this as a kind of like a shovel. If you can find objects that are small enough to fit in there. And I try to progressively go bigger so that we can scoop out more material. That might be all I can get away with. This area is kind of tight. The higher the landform, the more resilient it is against being scooped up. However, that's good enough. We were able to move enough that we can now put another airlock here. This will help to alleviate congestion in the future as we expand our mining, and the ore can go straight into processing. Okay, good. The biodome has all the metal it's going to need. So now the metal can go towards the processing plant, which needs 4 units. So what I did here is I basically prioritized the construction. See, I could put it back down to normal priority and then they get to it when they get to it, but I'm saying no, do this structure first, because this structure will help to ensure that we have the capacity to process starches. No. Well, actually, you know what? Let's put it down to normal priority because they're going to take the bioplastics here, and I really need them to finish the biodome. Well, no, actually, you know what? No, let's go ahead and prioritize it. I'm just concerned because the amount of personnel we have, let's see, this is what our food looks like, and it's starting to go down. After all, we keep adding more personnel to the colony. Now, the meal makers are doing their best to keep up with things. There's only a few of them, so they just produce food all the time, but our colony population is rising. In fact, here comes more. Oh, and that's our oxygen consumption, well, and production. I want to make sure that our colonists don't suffocate, starve, freeze, or any other bad things, if I can. Okay, there is nothing we can do but wait. So, we'll go ahead and speed up time. Since we have 3 metal processors, we're processing metal at a much greater rate than starches into bioplastics. So, once this is fully put together, you know what? We probably need some other metal structures. Power collector would be 1. I don't want us freezing to death in the night. Something else that we were just hearing a moment ago was water. So these water tanks basically provide us a buffer against any kinds of problems. Let's see. So I'm thinking we should increase our water buffer in case there are any problems. Okay, that's a worker. I have everything on max speed at the moment, so I was like, oh, please don't be hostile. So I don't have much time to react. Now, although these power collectors come out on this branch, I'm planning on expanding the base and connecting it here. That way they'll have two connections to get their power into the base. I'm always looking for multiple connections to ensure that there are as few single points of failure as possible, as the meteorites will definitely take advantage of that. Well, I mean, not that they come at specific points directly, but by luck of the draw, sometimes you get a really bad draw if you've made it so that those connections are few and far between. Okay, good. Our power collector is up. Okay, another worker. Let's see what our landing instructions are like. And we got 29 workers. Let's get a few more, and then we are going to switch exclusively to biologists. We'll need the biologists to be able to support the additional manpower for the colony. And we're probably going to see an influx of colonists once we're able to get everything back on balance. You see all these people who are unhappy or traumatically injured, and well, once we're able to start to get the resources we need in order to take care of everyone, this will be a much more attractive colony to visit in the very near future. At least I hope so. Ooh, the biodome is almost finished. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, good, good. Now, as soon as an engineer is able to come out here to this area, this is a part of the other reason why we need more than one airlock. Probably need an airlock located over here, and I'll probably put one here on this side of the base as well. Whoops, we're out of spares, huh? Well, that's okay. We're in the process of making spare parts now. Looks like we're doing okay on metal still. So let's take advantage of that and put up another solar collector. Power never goes out of style, especially on an airless moon. Oh, speaking of power, let's go ahead and power down. Okay, workers. Well, one worker. So that should bring us to 30. Let's go ahead and recruit nothing but biologists from here on out. You'll see why. Now, like I said, once we can get everybody happy and healthy again, our colony will suddenly become very popular. But that explosion in popularity can kill the colony if too many people land and eat us out of house and home, or well, cause all the oxygen to be used up. In fact, speaking of oxygen, let's take a look. We're currently at, we can support 60 colonists and we have 47. So we're good for now. But we'll have to think about another oxygen generator in the near future. There we go. I'm always looking for another connection opportunity. And put one here too. Since we're doing okay for metal. I want to ensure any power generation facilities have the ability to connect to the base in multiple ways. Well, unfortunately this one has only one, so here, let's see. What? You won't connect it? It's right there. All right, how about here? Nope. How about here? Finally. Planetbase can be a little finicky, and I'll confess I don't always understand why in terms of how it will allow you to make connections. Our engineer is tired and unhappy. We'll see. We'll see about getting you some entertainment soon. Speaking of which, see all these unhappy faces? I'm a little worried. This is just a stopgap, but we can put up a couple more video screens so we can increase the entertainment at least a little. We still need resources to get this up and going. You know what? I know where we can borrow some bioplastic. It's not being used at the moment, and that's for this medical cabinet. It's just sitting here. So we can get one bioplastic unit from that. Yeah, I could take these beds back, but we need some place for everyone to be able to rest. I'm just looking at other items that we could potentially take. You know what? I'll take back one of the fountains. We'll get by on 3. That single bioplastic processor is still our only source of bioplastic material to use for construction, so I'm hoping the workers get the lead out and keep that thing running. There we go. Continue to process. Just keep continuing to process. Okay, don't be hostile, please. Okay, good, good. That looks like a biologist to me. Now, when we reach a population of 60, that's where it gets to be a problem with our current level of oxygen generation. So before that happens, we'll have to put up another generator. Okay, engineering is busy maintaining the solar panels here. So I appreciate the work. And then we're going to see about putting up these connections to ensure that we have multiple connection points for all power generation. Yeah, you can't connect these. Okay, what are we shy? Just 2 bioplastics. Okay. Come on, just 2 more. Just 2 more. The nice thing is that, as I recall, I don't think the bioplastic processor actually requires bioplastics to make. It just requires metal. There we go. See how we had one worker get done, another one tagged in, so that we've got workers to spare to keep that processor going. Since we're doing okay on metal, maybe we need another mine. because I'm still thinking about more expansion, so we're going to need more processing. I'd held off on putting up another mine because the more mines we have, the more opportunities for workplace accidents. Okay, there we go. Not hostile. That exists, because that's where the workers are getting all their injuries, is something goes on in those mines and they end up hurt. Okay, just one more, and here it comes. I hope that's being brought by an engineer. No, it's not. It's a worker. We probably need a robotics facility to help with carrying all this stuff around. Oh, you know what? Let's decrease because we're going to have to put things up. And here, let's see. Oh, we already have the new mine in place. How about another power collector? Oh, and the new airlock is going up. Fantabulous. Okay, now this is one building that's not getting powered down. Oh, I've been waiting for this. Process me some bioplastics. We have to wait for the structure to fully pressurize before it's safe, but once the oxygen levels get up, the workers can come in here and we can start processing. Well, that's as soon as the processors are built. Unfortunately, they just cost metal. Then the bioplastics that they produce will be used to expand our new biodome. Oh, speaking of which, okay, good. I did put up another water extractor. At least I think I did, didn't I? As soon as that biodome goes online, we're going to need more water than we have. Oh, good, 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 good. More biologists. We will need them for the biodome. Oh, come on. I want to be able to put the water extractor here and connect all this stuff. Oh, well. If I have to, at least we can get some use out of this space. Oh, well, maybe we can dig it out a little bit, come to think of it. Let's see. See how the object goes underneath there. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can use it to nibble away until you can fit what in the item in there that you really want. Planetbase is a little finicky, so sometimes it takes a delicate touch in order to figure out where it will let you have something. Well, we can increase our mining, but at the same time, maybe it will help us, because we can use it to shim this down. Yeah, I was hoping to carve out more here, but it might be that it's just too steep. So in order to make my connection, I'm willing to go smaller. Okay, good, good. Our bioplastics processors are online. And for once, we actually see a surplus of bioplastics. These can be fed into things like the spares workshop and hopefully the lab. Since we canceled the construction here, that means we have more space along the bulkhead, and we can put in a couple of more workstations. I'd like to be able to get as much processed as possible so that we can get these workers back to work. Oh, and now that we are starting to get... oh, wait a minute, where did it all go? Oh, I see, the bioplastics are being consumed by the construction that's been queued, or being fed to workstations. That's okay, we will produce more. Actually, you know what? Let's make it a variety. Tomatoes and lettuce. Both are, well, they're plants that require high maintenance, but they also have high output. And then let's see, rice pads, which again, high maintenance, but high output, and they output starch. Some corn, very starchy. Some potatoes, more starch. And then some neutral things for variety. Onions, radishes. Okay, there we go. There's another biologist. And here, let's see, what else can we put in here? Thinking neutral stuff. Oh, you know what we probably need are more medicinal plants. And we'll even take a mushroom pad. That'll be nice and simple. Okay, this canteen needs to stay shut down. It looks like it was just completed. Now that the processing plant is online, we are finally going to get some breathing room. At least I hope. Good, workstations are going up. I want to ensure that the medics have... There we go. And we're working on making medical supplies. Finally. Oh, and let's put a cabinet back here. Now, at first, the medical supplies we make will be used to treat all the patients that come in, but eventually, hopefully, we will start to build up a surplus. At least that's my hope. Let's go ahead and just fill that out. After all, it's a processing plant for bioplastics specifically. This one will go ahead and recycle after it reaches 100%. That way, this can be a dedicated ore processing station. But I don't want to lose out on 98% progress. So here, we'll go ahead and we'll make our bioplastic. There we go. And let's replace that with an ore processor. Okay, let's see. So we have 14 biologists. We only have 3 medics, and we need the medics to man labs workstations in order to make more medical supplies. As you can see, all 3 medics that we have are all working. However, they do get tired and go off shift. They need to have replacements so that the medical supplies can continue to be generated. So let's go ahead and say that we would prefer medics, but we'll still take biologists for the next time the ship lands. Okay, there we go. The water extractor is built. Well, it's a little one, but it will help to supplement things. Okay, basically we just need to catch up and build some more bioplastics. Whoops, here comes the ship. Oh, excellent. More biologists. Let's go ahead and unleash them. All right, so the new large biodome is online. As bioplastics become available, they'll be taken and made into new vegetable pads. And eventually, well, hopefully we'll be able to get them all put together. It's going to use progressively more water from the colony. So although we did put up another water extractor, it was just a small one. I'm going to queue up a construction of a large one here. Looks like we're still okay on power. You can tell by the fact that there is plenty of power still left in a power collector just as the sun rises. Okay, the various different vegetable pads are now going up. Okay, potato, which will generate more starch. I try to get a variety of vegetables so that our colonists do not end up with problems like malnutrition. Ah, there we go. Medical supplies are being made. It's going to take some time, but all the injured workers are going to be taken care of. Oh, good. And our first 4 vegetable pads are up, which means rice. And rice also means starch, which will help with the bioplastics processing, which is now online and at full capacity. We have plenty of workers to work here. We just need more starch to come out of the biodomes. So here, we'll go ahead and we'll wait a bit. I want to see this biodome fully online. The more vegetable pads that go up, in particular the more starchy vegetable pads that go up, the better this situation will be, as more starch is produced every harvest and fed into the bioplastics processors. Okay, more biologists. Just want to make sure. As you can see, we have plenty of vegetable pads. We are going to need the biology team. Above and beyond this, I'm planning on putting up another lab that'll be dedicated to tissue synthesis so that we can generate even more meat products than we currently are. Good grief, will nobody help this poor guy? There we go. I was going to say, I knew in one of these stations we had some completed medical supplies. It's a matter of getting it to the cabinet or using it on the patient. Okay, so currently we're sped up, just allowing the colony to catch up with things. We have another water extractor online to ensure that we don't have any problems with our water levels. Matter of fact, here, I can just click on a dome, or, well, actually, you know what? Here we go. We're producing 17 and consuming 9.75, so we're in no danger of anybody running out of water right now. All right, starch is being produced from the new vegetable pads. It unnerves me every time a ship lands, because we don't know if it's going to be friend or foe. In order to help with that, probably the next thing I need to queue up is a command center. Now, one of the nice things about the command center is that even if it's not powered up, even if it has no services, it can still function to set alerts throughout the base. So in the event that we have a ship land that's actually filled with pirates coming to kill us, we can set off the yellow alert, pull everyone back inside the colony, and lock the door. The pirates are usually here on a one-way mission. Their ship abandons them, and if they want to survive, they have to take over the colony and kill everyone. So if we lock the door, we can basically defeat their nefarious plans because for all their bloodthirstiness, they can't break through the door. They'll just die on the surface. Since we don't have any weapons or guards, that's basically our only defense, is to just lock the door and let them asphyxiate on the surface. But we have to have a command center available in order to activate the alert procedure. Good, we're about halfway. So more bioplastics are on the way. Whoops, power is becoming a problem. We are drawing more power as we have everything here. Although it looks like we still have a bit of a reserve now that the night is over. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to store even more power. This is why we were building up on biologists, so that we would be able to support all the vegetable pads that we knew were going to increase as part of the large biodome expansion. So far, so good. Oh, it's already up. Great. So we'll power down the control center, and now we have the ability to call the colonists in if we need to. Oh, medic. Fantabulous. We need you. As I was mentioning before, the medics perform two major functions here. They will man the laboratory to make medical supplies, but they also treat the patients. But people can only work for so many hours, and then they get tired, need to rest, or need to eat, or need to sleep. And so I'm trying to ensure that I have enough of each colonist type that someone can just tag in after the other person tags out to ensure that the work continues 24/7. At least that's the idea. I want to make all these injuries go away, but we need medical supplies to do it. Are we still short on bioplastics? How many of these processors are running? Well, apparently not enough. Uh-oh. That is a magic number, 60. We need more oxygen. In a hurry. So currently the oxygen system is at its max. We can't afford to take any hits on the system, and we can't have any more colonists land. But we're trying to reach the challenge goal, so we don't want to turn anyone away. So if they land, they land. We'll make the generator as quickly as we can, and hopefully we won't all suffocate. We need more medics. Well, we also need more bioplastics. Okay, the dome is fully online, which means we should be, we'll give it a cycle or two for the harvest, and we should be up on our starch levels. I'd like to see all these bioplastics processors running at the same time. We're okay for power storage, especially since the sun is just a few hours away. Yep, we're trying to do something about that. Whoops. Oh, good, another medic. That is exactly what we need. Like I said, the workstations here, well, let's see. Oh, they're not completely supplied. Whoa, there goes the power. I guess we need to generate more power. I'm surprised. All right, it looks like we have excess metal at the moment. Let's take advantage of it. In fact, here's how we're going to do it. We could use an airlock over in this section of the base. That airlock will connect to services over here. Specifically, whoops, power generation. Like I said, I'm always looking for multiple paths to ensure that the power or other utilities gets there. Because it would be just my luck that a meteorite would come and sever the one and only link to a particular item. Oh, you know what? I can sit here and speed things up. I'm sitting here watching the day go by lazily on this distant world, and I'm thinking, might be a good time for a nap, but it's kind of bad when you're recording. Planetbase can be very relaxing, and so I have to admit, it's one of those games that's really good to play, well, at least for me, right before bedtime. You kind of slow down, and you think about what you're doing, and other than the occasional exciting things like maybe a meteorite or a lightning strike or a dust storm or maybe a blizzard, other than that, it's a pretty slow-moving game about, well, being strategic about your building. How are we doing with food stocks? Ah, there we go. Oxygen's getting better. Yeah, meal makers are the same, but power's all over the place as always. So is water. Wow, we're producing more vegetables than people are able to carry off and dump into storage, apparently. We need carry bots. Robot automation would really help at this point. Good, all the workstations are busy simultaneously. All right, for our landing instructions, let's see about getting some more medics. Power storage is critical. Looks like another blackout. Yep. Guess we need to store more power. In fact, let's go ahead and monitor this day. I want to see, let's see, we have a capacity for 75,000 units of power. Is it completely full by the time the day is done? That's the question I'm trying to answer right now. Okay, the day is almost over. If it does not fill up, then that means we need more power generation. It didn't quite make it. In fact, look, we're We're still generating a little bit of power as the remains of the day, but we're well short of the 87,000 that we have as a capacity. So we need more power generation. While we're still not keeping up with the demands for bioplastics, I knew that they were going to use them, but my goodness. Okay, this medic looks okay. All right, let's see, what do we have? You know what? Next, we need engineers. The engineering team performs a couple of functions. First, they'll work in the factory, but then second of all, they'll work in the robotics bay. So what I'm thinking in this case is that we probably need some robot automation in order to alleviate some of the wandering around carrying things nonsense and allow the colonists to do the jobs for which they're specialized for, rather than some menial transport. So let's go ahead and put up a couple of semiconductors in order to get what we need to make our little robots that'll run around and carry stuff for us. Ah, good. The airlock is up over here. We're still waiting on another solar panel. I was hoping we would have built up a surplus of bioplastics by this point. But there's just so much to do. Everybody needs to consume them. Okay, we have this wide open gap here, and what I was thinking is this would be the perfect place to turn frowns upside down at the spacebar. I'm connecting it directly to the oxygen generator so that if there's a high density of colonists inside this structure, they won't be able to take the oxygen levels down too terribly much. We're still having problems with power. Guys, come on. Okay, let's go ahead and speed up time. Let's see, what day are we on? Day 26. So we've got 63 colonists. We're having power problems. Ah, good, more engineers. We can definitely use your help. Not only do the engineers allow us to build various different structures or repair ones that have been damaged by meteorite strikes, but they also man our most critical infrastructure to help us build specialized components. For example, working in the semiconductor foundry. So as you can see, here's the formula: metal plus bioplastic processed by the engineer equals a semiconductor. If only it was that simple. But I suppose in Planetbase it really is. Let's take a look. Alright, so we're helping our traumatically ill patient using the medical supplies that were just produced. And voila, he makes a full recovery. And more importantly, he's ready to go back to work. I am surprised that this solar panel is not up yet. I guess we're still short 1 unit of metal, but I would have thought they would have gotten that done by now. There's plenty of ore all over the place to be processed, and we have 4 metal processors, which should be going all the time. You see all these frowns? I would love to turn upside down. I guarantee the spacebar can do it. Plus, we're building up a surplus of vegetables. One of the problems that I've had in the past with other colonies is that when I put up a bar, the bar uses vegetables and basically ferments them into alcohol. I found out the hard way. The colonists would rather drink themselves to starvation than have the food to actually eat. So even if they're hungry, they'll tend to keep stuffing those alcohol-generated machines with vegetable matter, and they'll just drink whatever comes out instead of growing their own. So I try to ensure that there is a healthy surplus and plenty of vegetables being produced before introducing a new bar on a colony. Okay, I'm just looking about. It looks like other than this, we don't have any other construction projects to be worrying about at the moment. Okay, looking at the time, this is a good spot to end this video here. So, join me next time here on Joe Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where, let's see how, of course, the solar panel is completed just as the long night begins. How typical. All right, well, in our next episode, the new solar panel is online, and we'll see how many of these power collectors we can keep charged at any given time. We could probably use a few more. There's never too much, because if you run out of power, that's death, at least on this planet. So with that, I'll go ahead and say where we're at, and you can join me next time here on Joe Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where we'll have more fun in the Dark Moon Challenge and see whether or not we can get an achievement. Oh, but before we go, let's see who this is. Oh, good, good. One more engineer to join us. Perfect. I love the structures in Planetbase. Doesn't it look like hamsters should be running around in here? See you next time.